Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you all so much for joining us. Welcome to our State Advocacy Day Know Before You Go training. We're so excited that you're able to be here and that you're going to be able to join us next week as well as we go down to Trenton and meet with our legislators. I think we're 3 past 12, so I think we can get started. Yeah. So we're just going to go into a little bit about what you should kind of do when should you get there and what things are really going to look like. So we're asking everyone to please arrive and check in with us by 11 a.m. So that will probably mean that you need to plan to arrive around 10:30 because it is going to probably take a little while to navigate the building, go through security, and all that stuff. So please plan to give yourself ample time to park, again, as I mentioned, security, and navigate the Capitol building itself, as we will be meeting inside of it. And of course, we'll have folks to help you with the navigation, and we'll give you instructions today, of course. But it will take a little time, so try to get there a little earlier if you can, so we can get started and get the show rolling exactly at 11 a.m. Also, just want to let folks know to don't forget to wear your purple. One, this is going to help us stand out to our legislators when they see us walking around in the hallways, when we're in meetings, if we're sitting in the assembly area, they're going to know who we are and they're going to know who we represent. And that's powerful. But also, what it will do is help our staff identify you. So, if you need help knowing where to go or if you have a question, we'll know you're one of ours. So it'll help on multiple areas. So please, if you can, wear some purple. When it comes to parking, there are a few options. So there is limited metered parking on West State Street, and there is limited parking in the Capitol garage. These are the spots that are closest to the building and probably the spots that are easiest to access the building. It is also where you can find handicap accessible parking if needed. But I really want to emphasize the word limited. There's not a ton of parking on the street, and the garage is on the smaller side, and the assembly is going to be in session that day. So there's going to be a lot of folks in the Capitol. Just be aware of that those two places, although they're probably the most convenient to park, aren't going to have a lot of space. But luckily, there are several pay lots located within walking distance of the Capitol, and these are the addresses for them on 1 West Lafayette Street, 16 East Front Street, and 110 North Warren Street. They're all within walking distance and close to the Capitol, so you should be able to access the Capitol without a problem. It will incur a fee, but it's only about $12 to park there for 12 hours, and that should be more than enough time. So when you get there and after you park, the best way to get to where you're going is to enter through the State House Annex entrance, and that is going to be on West State Street itself. This entrance is going to be a smaller, new all glass building. It actually kind of sticks out because it's like a very different vibe than the rest of the State House, which is very old. And it's like in between the State House and the State House Annex. You will see signs for State House Annex entrance. And please, just honestly, all you have to do is follow the signs. The State House entrance is, in general, to go straight to the State House is closed because there's going to be a ton of construction there. That's also part of the reason why parking on West State Street is limited, is because there's a lot of construction going on. So you're just going to want to look through for that white small glass building, and that's how you're going to enter. Now, once you enter the building, you're going to go through security. And when you go through security, you need to be be prepared to show a photo ID. They're probably going to scan your driver's license. They might take a picture of you and give you a name tag, and then you're going to have to go through metal detectors. It's usually pretty quick process. It might be a little bit of waiting if there's like a line of folks to get in, but it's pretty seamless. And there'll be security there, obviously, to help you navigate that. But once you're through security, you will actually then exit that building and re-enter. You'll basically go back outside and you will enter a courtyard. And we will have staff waiting for you in that courtyard to help you get to where you're going, and help you navigate to the room that we will be in. So just to kind of give you a visual of where this entrance is and the best way to enter the Capitol complex, it is, as I said before, right in between the State House and the State House Annex. It is labeled fairly clearly, and it does kind of stick out because it looks different than everything else. So just be on the lookout. You can see it from the street. It's like 10 feet from the street. It's right there. And so that's really where you're looking to enter, and it'll be the easiest way for you to get to our committee room that we'll be spending the day in. All right, and I think now I am going to pass it to Bruce to take it from there.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for dropping in with us today. I really appreciate it. If you just, Ryan, if you just click back one slide to that entrance location slide, the reason why I want to talk briefly about this is because for all of you that have gone to Trenton before and have done State Advocacy Day or been at the State House, you'll see there's the State House itself and then the State House Annex. So these are two separate buildings, but we are going to be sort of headquartered and located in the State House Annex for most of the day. When we go to talk to our legislators, we're going to go to the State House. There is an underground tunnel, a hallway that we're going to walk through to get from one to the other. But like Ryan said, there's a lot of construction going on right now. So there's only one way into either one of these buildings, and that's through that star, that gold star that you see. So we can go to the next slide, Ryan. I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew if they park in those other areas that we have traditionally parked in, you cannot get into the building other than going through West State Street. So I just wanted to make sure that our seasoned advocates know that that's where they're going. Again, once you go into that courtyard after going through that introduction booth, if you will, where you get scanned, we're going to have association staff there to escort you in. It's very easy. You walk into the State House Annex, get into an elevator that is right in the middle of the building there, and go to the 4th floor. We are in committee room number 14. That's where we're going to have our morning program, where we're going to have our lunch and have our speakers. So once we're there, you can put your things in there and we're going to be all set. I don't think you're going to be able to get into the Capitol complex through a different entrance, but if you do somehow, and you don't see any association staff, there is a lot of folks walking around that are security to help you find where to go. So next slide there, Ryan. So State Advocacy Day is really about pushing certain policy areas for us. We want to make sure that you meet with your state legislator or a staffer. Usually the chief of staff or a legislative aide will be there if they cannot come off the floor. This is the New Jersey State Senate may not be there. The New Jersey Assembly will be there. That is what the schedule is. In typical New Jersey fashion, we do not know what time the assembly is going to start because they have not listed it yet, nor have they given us a calendar of what they're going to be voting on that day. That'll come out probably early next week. We would like to have you all meet with your legislator. and talk to them about the two areas that we're going to go to in the next slide. But when you arrive, this is sort of just the general agenda. Arrive at between 10:30 and 11. We're going to do a quick welcome, another policy briefing and meeting training if you weren't able to jump on this one or the next one next week, and a quick Q&A. At some point, we're going to do lunch, hopefully around noon. We have some great speakers for you guys. We have the Deputy Commissioner from the Department of Human Services is coming, Kaylee McGuire. She is very, very important to us. The Department of Human Services in New Jersey is important to us. One of our huge legislative champions, Senator Angela McKnight, is going to be coming. She is actually the sponsor of the Dementia Coordinator bill that we were pushing. And then we have another special guest that is coming that will roll out at some point. Between noon and 4, we're going to have those folks talking, awards. We're going to have meetings with our legislators, a group photo, and some video recordings that Ryan is going to talk about in a little bit. So next slide, Ryan. We are in a really, really important point in time right now in the state of New Jersey. The theme of our State Advocacy Day is that this is timely and it is urgent. New Jersey's never been in this position before when it comes to Alzheimer's progress. As I've said a lot, we are really trying to formulate and set the groundwork for a strong public policy infrastructure in New Jersey. Well, it's happening, and it just started happening this year, and that's why your participation for State Advocacy Day is so important. It's timely that we obtain a dementia coordinator. Why? Because we are going to be having incredible movement with elections this year. By the end of this year, we will have all 80 members of the General Assembly and a new governor coming in for next year. All of these elections that are happening this year are important for us to push, not for the next cycle, but actually between November the 9th and the end of this year. November the 9th and the end of this year will be a lame duck session of the legislature. That is when they're going to be signing bills, passing bills. They're going to be doing all sorts of stuff to get things cleaned up for the next legislature. That's why our work now until then is so timely. The dementia coordinator is important because the commission that you guys worked so hard for to have appointed met earlier this year. They are taking up the 2016 New Jersey Alzheimer's report that we have that has not been talked about for almost 10 years. They are updating that information. They are updating services. They are updating the soup to nuts on policy in the state of New Jersey. And the dementia coordinator, somebody new that could come in and sit in the Department of Human Services, will implement those policy decisions that we have. That's why it is so timely that we pass a dementia coordinator bill before the end of this year. It's also very urgent that we get this stuff done. As you know, the biomarkers bill was passed because of all of you working so hard. Biomarkers is a law now. Because of that, and because of Leqembi and donanemab, these incredible treatments that we have, you get tested with biomarkers. You can be treated with Leqembi or donanemab. We know this. We all know this. But our legislators don't. And I would dare say if we go out on the street today and go to any one of our towns and just ask Joe Blow on the street, they're not going to know that either. So that's why we need to push this time for a fully funded public awareness campaign to let everyone know that we have biomarker testing and we have treatments like Leqembi and donanemab. That's why this is so high stakes this year, and that's why we need you guys to turn up the pressure. Next slide. Just to give you some quick background, a dementia coordinator, the bill that we have does a couple of things. Oversees that plan that I just talked about. That person is going to serve as a liaison between all the state agencies, the Department of Health, the Department of Human Services specifically, and the Division of Aging, the governor, the legislature, and any outside stakeholders. They're going to coordinate all the programs and services within the state of New Jersey, and really implement the new Alzheimer's and Dementia Commission report that they will be putting out. Next slide. That dementia coordinator also is going to be facilitating the awareness campaign, this bill that we have been kicking around. We worked on this last year, but it doesn't have any money associated with it. So what I'm going to ask you guys this year to talk about to our legislators is actually putting money into this bill, actually putting an appropriation, a financial appropriation to attach to this bill as an amendment so that we can put out on social media, we can put billboards out, go on radio, television, wherever we need to show and tell people the 185,300 residents living with dementia, the 272,000 family members and friends who are unpaid caregivers within the state of New Jersey, and everyone else, what we have today in terms of testing and treatments. Next slide. And I think I'm wrapping that up for there, but I just want to say thank you once again before I turn this back over to Ryan. I want to say thank you for each and every one of you for coming out. If you have friends that want to come, please have them come. It is so vital and important right now to do this at the state level. So, Ryan?
Yeah. So just a little talk about ways you can help. Obviously, as Bruce just said, the next few months moving forward are going to be incredibly important to us for being able to cement an Alzheimer's public health infrastructure here in the state of New Jersey. And so the main ways that you can help and what you can do is one, show up to State Advocacy Day this coming or next Thursday, basically, and do meet with your state representatives. And we're working on setting up those meetings now. You can also send letters to your representatives. And now we have a brand new action center where you can send those letters with it's easy as basically simply clicking a button. And so we'll be sending that around as well. So folks can send letters to their representatives around these two priorities that we just spoke about. And then another big part of this is going to be recording videos with us actually during State Advocacy Day and posting them on your social media. So using social media and videos of you telling your story is going to be a key component of our plan here to increase awareness and public pressure on the legislature to act, especially during that lame duck session that Bruce spoke about. So our hope is that we'll have scripts, we'll have staff going around helping you record and things like that. But that's also going to be a big part of the work we're going to be doing on State Advocacy Day to help have folks like you, advocates, share your stories to help, increase pressure to help get the ball, keep the ball rolling. And I think that's all that we have for our first training today. I'm happy to open up to any questions if there's anything we didn't cover, or if anyone has any questions about like the logistics stuff that we have going on.
I see some questions in the chat. Actually, Ryan, one, do we need a real ID? No, just a photo ID is fine. Oh, you already answered that. Thank you, Ryan. Aside from wearing purple, are there any other dress code recommendations? No, just as much purple as you possibly can wear. We want to make sure that everybody sees us.
Not seeing any other questions at the moment. I'm going to turn it over to our region leader, Christina, who wants to say a few things.
Well, Ryan, you know I'm never going to miss saying something to this amazing group of volunteers since we have some extra time. So, hello, everybody. For any of you who I have not had the pleasure of meeting, I am Christina Francel, the Regional Vice President for New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware. I also serve as the Chapter Executive Director for the Delaware Valley Chapter, which covers Southern New Jersey. I am joined today by our new chapter executive, Paul Irwin Dudek, who is the Greater New Jersey chapter executive director, who, if he's in a position to come off mute, I'm sure would love to say hello to. I just wanted to say thank you to all of you for lending your time, your story, your personal experience and journey with dementia, whatever that might be, to the work that we are doing in Trenton and across New Jersey. As you just heard from Bruce, it is pivotal that we share our stories and bring these pieces of legislation and regulations and all of the things that we're doing to life for our legislators. They need to hear from you. They need to understand how your lives have been touched by dementia and how the laws that they're passing, the changes that they're making, touch real people and could improve your experience with dementia or that of your loved ones. So I just want you to know how important it is to us that you're part of this, and really can't thank you enough for making the time to be there with us. And Ryan, thank you so much for all the logistics. The state capitol can be complex to navigate, and with your leadership, Ryan, I know we're going to be able to do it. We will all find ourselves to one another with that purple, especially as our beacon of guiding light. So, Paul, I see you're in the office now. Would you like to say hello?
Absolutely. Apologies, I was having technical issues, so I couldn't get on via my phone. But again, it's very nice to meet you. I see some familiar faces here that I met earlier this week at our Greater New Jersey chapter open house, and looking forward to working with each and every one of you. And again, just want to thank you in advance for lending your voice, lending your story for, again, those 185,000 plus individuals who are facing and living with dementia and Alzheimer's. And so, again, we know that your voice and your stories has a true impact. And being there on Thursday, the 22nd, is going to have an even greater impact. So again, thank you. I look forward to meeting all of you in person. And again, just appreciate all the work that you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Paul. Ryan and Bruce, back to you for the regularly scheduled programming. I saw another question come through. So hopefully, as we were talking, folks were thinking about their other questions. Thank you both for giving us the floor for a moment.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for Oh, thanks for sharing. Real quick, Stevie, to answer your question about handicap access, my understanding is that handicap accessible parking is on the second floor of the Capitol parking garage. And so if you are able to park there, the handicap accessible entrance should be connected to that. So that's probably the best bet. And Bruce, I'm going to turn over to you to answer the policy question.
Yeah, Julianne, I know you said you were there last year. The Senator Greenstein was there, talked about putting money towards the public awareness campaign bill. She did not do that. She did not amend that bill because it was not heard. It never went into a hearing. It was never voted upon. This is the same bill that we were working on last year, trying to get an appropriation attached to it, and we have not yet. So that's why we're talking to the Assembly this year, trying to get them to move on the bill. We should have some special guests there that will host the bill, which means put it up for a vote. And hopefully we'll be able to work with them to amend the bill on the Assembly side, which would attach the money. So.
Question, if that's okay. First of all, thank you so much for your work, your great work on this, and thank you so much to all the volunteers for joining us and everything that you do. I was just wondering, if you can anticipate or know about any of the key kind of points of resistance there might be to some of these bills, and then also if there are key questions you think we might get that we should be prepared to answer.
Great question, Sarah. Yeah, the questioning around the dementia coordinator position, there might be a problem with regard to the money that's attached to it. There's a $150,000 appropriation within the actual bill. That might have some resistance, but again, I would ignore those types of policy problems. We will get a lot. This is a tough budget year. They will say that about both of these bills. It's a tough budget year. It's a tough budget year. Every single year is a tough budget year. So I tend to like to start off my meetings with them and say, listen, I understand that it's a tough budget year. However, we are at a point in time that we can save people's lives and give them more time that are people who are living with Alzheimer's disease. When we say that, it changes and shifts. One of the other things too that you could also start off with, which I like to ask a legislator, do you have any connection to the disease? Do you know anything in your family, anything friends or things like that? That way, it becomes a little bit of a different conversation. You take the money aspect out of it. You take sort of that pressure off of yourself from having to deal with specific policy issues. I want to just reiterate what Christina kind of led to, which is for advocates talking to their legislators, I want you to tell your stories. I want you to tell your story about what has been going on in your life, in your loved ones' lives. That is more important and more powerful than something that Bruce Sisler can say. Bruce Sisler is one of 100 lobbyists that walk into this halls of Trenton. I will give them all of the information that I possibly can in terms of numbers, but your stories, what you have gone through, what you are going through, the things that you have experienced is more powerful. And again, that takes that pressure off of you in terms of the financial questions that might come my way. So I'll be there with you guys to talk through those financial problems and issues that they might have, any of those objections, which those will be the only objections but I'll be there with you guys.
Seeing no further questions, I think that's everything we got for everyone.
If I may,
Oh.
in the past, this will be my first visit with y'all. In the past, what have been the primary objections? I'm a board certified patient advocate and dementia practitioner, etc. So what in the past what is the objection to passing this? Is it just the $150,000? Is it ignorance?
Not ignorance.
What are the objections that the advocates have been seeing?
Money. It's only money, Stevie. It's the $150,000 for the dementia coordinator actually will not be the biggest problem. The public awareness funding requests that I have made is a $750,000 request. And when you think about a $56 billion budget, $750,000 is nothing. But it is the objections are always financial. So that's the only thing we see.
Is it going to be affected by the cuts from Washington on Medicaid and all of that? Is this coming under that bill?
No, not on these asks. No.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other final questions? I think we got everybody.
You guys are awesome. Thank you very much. Never be afraid to step out and give us a call here or shoot us an email. If you have anything on the day of, we will get you our cell phone numbers so you can text us or call us when you're on your way, or if there's any problems, please let us know and we will be there to help. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, everyone. And we look forward to seeing you soon.